Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to 4 p.m. My name is Dean Stevenson, and the next thing I say may make no sense to some of you. The piece you just heard was not written today. If that doesn't make sense to you, then you've no idea why you're here, and that's fine. That's just fine. For those of you who are here, maybe you've read the O device, or maybe there's just a crowd. Crowds are good. So each day, a brand new piece is written. So I arrive to a blank page at 10 o'clock when the doors of the museum open and write a new piece, and these musicians will play the piece that I wrote today in a second. We'll all hear it for the first time. I haven't heard it yet, they haven't, you haven't. We're all going to sight read it. The piece that they just played, pretty much sight read from a previous day. That was day 120 in the first run of this installation back in February 2022. And today, brand new piece every day. Today is day 247. So it's a thank you. It's a long ride. I am graced with these extraordinary musicians who arrive each day to play or interpret and to roll my shit in glitter and make it always better. So please thank Hayato, Chris, Anna, and James. So what I'd like you, well, what I think about the essence behind this installation, if I'm to give you one short paragraph essay, is to think about that cupboard or drawer or garage full of stuff, full of beginnings, because we're really good at starting stuff, but we don't finish as many things as we start, because we check out halfway through because we don't think we're good enough or competent enough or professional enough, or we're doing something that belongs to somebody else, or worse, you make something, you have a go, and it's really good. It's a really good first try. And so you're afraid to ever do it again in case it's not as good and you burst the bubble. It's even probably more common and even worse. So I thought I'd spend all my days here at Mona hanging my dirty undies out for you so you can see just pushing through that middle bit and knowing that these splendid musicians will arrive and play whatever. So that piece was 120. Today we're going to now start to work through today's piece. And if we get through this in good time, we might tack another one on the end with plenty of time for people to catch the ferry and whatnot. This is a rehearsal now, so we might start and stop a bit as we put today's piece together. They're going to read it off the page. It's never been played before, may never be played again. And as it's a rehearsal, I will keep my mic on so you can hear the chat, and please ask questions. I'll come and check in with you to make sure we interact and there's no mystery here. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hi. 247. 1, 2, 3, come in on the upbeat of beat 4 above.
That's everyone.
That's not yet.
It's yeah. So there's 3 beats.
Yes. 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. So it starts, it's a slow, quick bit in the middle, slow again at the other end. That sounded like Monty Python's definition of a dinosaur, doesn't it? No, sorry. No. Okay. Bar 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. That's good. From A. yours here. Okay, that's good. All right, so then just recite, read that off the page for the first time. That was lovely, wasn't it? Okay. So what? I'll now ask them if they have any questions, and I'll ask if you have any questions. Do you have any questions? Good work on the probably more cello volume. That from bar 8. Yeah, a little sigh on the staccato crotchets. Very good, thank you.
Which bar, sorry?
From A. Yeah, you can keep hitting that crotchet as they diminish. It's great, without being too obvious on that crotchet.
Can I ask Dean?
Yes.
Bar 29.
Bar 29.
Third beat.
Third beat.
I've got an F sharp and a G natural.
4, 5, 6, 7,
And
8, 9. Yes.
Yeah. Is that? Do you want to just have a listen again?
Yeah, I did think that was a bit funky, but I was hoping it would work. Yes. Can we try just that bar?
Yeah.
Just bar, say 2 before D. Everyone, 2 before D. 3, 4. Can we go to them again? I need to get closer. Again, 2 bars before D. 3, 4. Yes. Yes, it's right. It's right. Play with confidence. Yeah. Yes. Yep, right. Okay, does anybody out there have any questions? It's interesting how the people standing at the back either can't hear it or they haven't heard. I just want to hear all the way through. Fuck it, I'll go see a vagina instead. But they leave, and it's just the people who are interested in what's going on stay, which is great. Pizza, nice call. Does anybody have any questions or think of something they'd like to ask before we keep going? No? Let's do that bit again. Okay. From top.
Top, yep.
2, 3. First volume of the melody. More volume on the swells. Yes, thank you. Cello. This is the melody you'll hear come back in another instrument. Here's the same melody on the violin. First violin ascending. there's a lot of notes to decide read off the pages then. Very, very good. Thank you. Can we make, when we get to figure, after I, let's do like a big dump on the crotchets, really staccato, accented, like fortissimo, please. Especially when we get to the before K, you got those staccato crotchets. Down, 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 K. Yeah, great. So melody switches around a bit. Has anybody thought of anything they'd like to ask at all? Any questions? No? Oh, yes? Swallow your pizza first, sir. We'll have to wait. You're impatient, aren't you? That's me. Chew your pizza. It's coming. 67, yes.
Is that meant to be a D sharp? Sort of comes out of nowhere. Maybe.
There's a D natural down below. Yeah, D natural. Thank you. Okay, cool. Let's go then right on the change. F. Right at F. Yes, and then little trills. Yes, so viola, little trills. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, cool.
In one note.
Oh, sorry, and I have one more question.
Yes.
Do you want these? Did you want these quavers on what like longer or shorter?
At F? No. Where? Which quaver is shorter?
Or
Make them longer because it's all quite short underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, from F to D. There's the whistler. Sorry about the fifths and the bottom there. That's good for that. All right, let's have a quick look at some of the changeovers before we, in that section from F. Does anybody want to ask anything, know anything? No? You happy? Is it good? That's the whole piece. Now you know what's the deal, what you've got to deal with emotionally. Is that okay? No? Cool. So F, we have solo in second violin from F. and then at the 4/4 bar, about 5 bars in, first violin soars over the top. Really make a so you've still got that we're going don't rest. You've got the so the cello is mostly chugging away on the crotchets during this section, so you can get the nice big chunky tempo. That's grand. One more time from F, please. Actually, let's go from E, so we know that the cello rondo into F. The cello rondo is a fancy word for get faster. From E, B, 4. So I want to have the change at J. It feels like it kind of goes away at J. Can you sort of keep on the front? Yeah, more on the front, please. Yeah. Yep. This sort of disappears. The energy's yet to be done. Okay. And maybe if you have open strings, maybe you want to sort of the staccato. Maybe can you try and stop them a little earlier?
Oh yeah.
Let's try that. Okay, so are you ready to give it a run? I'm going to run from the top. So yeah? We're going to run it from the top now for the first time. Would anybody like to know anything about any of it? It's okay. Hello? What's that, sorry? I don't know. I had the way it begins and ends, the kind of the longing melody. I went and saw the Tasmanian Symphony Orchestra last night playing movie tunes. So I was thinking of some big, heart-wrenching, someone's definitely died in that kind of heart-wrenching melody. But you can't just leave them with that, or maybe you can. So I thought I'd put a car chase in the middle, because what the hell? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's dangerous to expect that there's always needs to be inspiration, because that way you're waiting for lightning to strike. Sometimes it doesn't strike for years. Right, so it's just better to show up and just throw your hands at the tools and go, and just make some rubbish, and eventually you'll get better. Yeah, you'll get better at everything you do the more often you do it. Playing music, sweeping the floor, or being an asshole. If you do it more often, you just get better at it. Sleeping on the couch, did you say?
At I.
At I.
To drive that through, to get that through to the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll push through because I seem to have more.
Yeah, great, thank you. Great. All right, here we go. Here is day 247 from the top. And then we've got another one chucked away for play after this work, because we're doing well for time. Here we go. Thank you. Hayato, Chris, Anna, James. So that's, just, there you go. There's lots of them, there's hundreds of bloody things. Some of them we'll never hear again, some of them are quite like the lightning struck on those days, and I was like, wow, yeah, for no particular reason that I could really pinpoint, really. Because that's kind of the randomness of art. We do it because we want to feel, we want to understand the world a bit more every time we do it. It's like the throat of life, you know. Every time we do it, we get ourselves a bit more in the world. And some days you're just not up to it. Some days you're just not up to the world, and art will tell you that. Other days I come in here feeling like a fucking champion and write a piece of shit. It's terrible. But then again, I write something awful and someone phones me and says, best ever. What? I don't get it. I don't know. So some of them have worked out really well, and there's a little, there's a download and some CDs and little QR codes. You can scan that and look at Bandcamp, and there's some live recordings and stuff. So that's all really good. There's a mailing list here if you want to know how it's going. This is going until July, so stay in touch. There's a live stream as well on this stand here in front of me on the camera. So if you look up Dean Stevenson 4 p.m. on YouTube, all 247 days are all there. I'm not going to watch them again, but you go ahead. Also, if you sign the mailing list, for the first 150 days of this installation, I kept a journal at the end of every day. So that I'm publishing that in a few weeks' time as well. So lots of cool stuff. That was really fun. Should we do another one? Would you like to hear another one? Yes? Let's do this one. This is one of my favourites. I think this is the day that the lightning struck. This is from day 147, just at the tail end of the first iteration of the 4 p.m. Written again in this room, just not long after the war in Ukraine started. That was what I held to mind. It's not meant to sound like it. It's not meant to be anything more than just me thinking about it as I wrote. So there we go. Any cool questions? Yes. No, it's always the same instrument. Yeah. Yeah. So first question is, it's always the same instruments, not always the same players. So there was about a dozen people in the pool that come through. What's it like for the players to do this?
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day. Yeah. Sometimes they roll their eyes and go, is that it, Dan? Yeah. I think, to speak on their behalf, having been asked this before, most of the time, they spend more time rehearsing than performing. That's the nature of these instruments. They spend hours and hours and hours behind the door practicing, but you don't get to see that. And they don't get to see you whilst they practice. So that's what's different. They're not used to sight reading in front of people. So it takes a bit of courage, a bit of Dutch to get that happening. So perhaps that's an evolution for everyone to get to that point. Yeah, baby. Yeah. So so I can throw stuff down on the page all day long, but I need to be able to communicate my ideas to them. I do that through the expressions of volume changes, tempo changes, certain clusters of chords or notes that rub together that have a certain kind of agitation or whatever. So it's my job to know what those sounds are and to employ them judiciously, and hope that I've written it well on the part, and they'll take their pencil to it and draw cock and balls on it if I haven't. Yeah. There you go. There it is. So maybe I don't play the piano. I literally do not play the piano. Yeah, I can't play. It's not a skill I have. I can push the notes in to find the right kind of harmonies. I know a bit about music theory in a sense, but I don't. I can't. If you put music in front of me, I can't play it. I just never could. But it's weird. I know it's hard to understand. Drum kit in the pub, however, 20 years. 20 years. Nail the fuck out of that. Yeah. There you go. There we go. I'm swearing a lot. Let's play day 147. Any other questions? Okay, here it is. Here's my day 147. You're all good? Bar one. Hayato, and Chris, and Anna, and James. Straight off the page. There you go. Thank you very, very much. And that is 4 p.m. for today. There's a live stream, a mailing list. You can buy some recordings from me. Just scan the thing for Bandcamp, or buy some stuff in the shop upstairs, or just go and make some great art for yourselves. Hang your dirty undies out. It's all right. No one ever died from music. It was the drugs that killed them. Thank you.